Okay. Salam dostlar. Bizim bugünkü qonağımız Kaderjan İlghar. Biz Kaderjan İlgharı təqdim etməmişdən öncə sizlərə bir balaca bizim mövzumuz barədə bildirim. Biz Kaderjan İlghar ilə keçən həftədən danışdıq və agresiya və təcavüzə və violence and aggression buna qarşı olan hərəkətlər barədə və buna qarşı olan campaigning barədə danışacağıq. Kaderjan İlghar, qısaca deyim ki, Kaliforniyada yaşayır və Kaliforniyada Uyğur Fondunun prezidentidir. Bugün onu biz dəvət etmişik, çox sağ olsun, özü də razı olub. Amma bizim söhbətimiz ingilis dilində gedəcəkdir. Çalışacağıq ki, müəyyən detallara toxunaq. Ümumiyyətlə baş verən, dünyada baş verən və ya Amerikada baş verən, onlara qarşı baş verən bu təcavüzlər haqqında ümumi söhbət edək. Hər kəsin sualı olarsa, zəhmət olmasa, şərh bölməsində qeyd eləsin ki, biz suallara cavab verə bilək. Kaderjan,
yeah, salam.
Hi, how are you doing? Salam alaikum, brother.
Good.
We are online, and thank you for accepting our invitation and being with us today in live stream with Live Life in California. I really appreciate your attendance here. And I just introduced you to our audience in Azerbaijani language, short brief. But I would like to let the people that you are the president of the Uyghur Foundation in the United States, in California, residing in California, and you are the Uyghur activist. And briefly, we met with Kaderjan last year during an event when they presented the Uyghur community to our community, Azerbaijani community in our center. And since by that time, we have a good relations and friendship relations with Kaderjan. Kaderjan, now your speak is yours and you can make your speech intro.
Salam Samir, salam dostlar, right? Thanks for inviting me, and personally, and I also kind of great to be here, and also thanks for you, doing a lot of the community work, raising awareness about a lot of issue around around the world. I think all of us can benefit a lot, and especially I know during the pandemic, you never stopped, right? So you just keep doing more and more. I think that's really good for our community, So I'm good to be here,
Thank you. As you know, our topic today is campaigning against violence and aggression. It means that why I choose this topic and you agreed with this, because as you know, last month in Los Angeles, a group of Armenian nationalists, mobs, attacked our, actually they had a so-called protest meeting in front of the building where is our consulate in Los Angeles. About 7,000 people gathered. By that time, a group of Azerbaijani guys, like a small group, like 50, 60 people, were there anti-protesting them. But at the end, what has happened? There happened aggression. There happened fist fighting against our people and insulting our people. Even 7 people injured. 2 of them have been in intensive care. And since by that time, we want to restore our rights here. And we're trying also that we see that insufficient of media relations, insufficient of political reaction from the LAPD Los Angeles Police Department. Yes, they say that they open investigation and already some suspect people are wanted. They are looking everywhere for them, but it's not sufficient here because we see that some political people, politics, who are always looking for votes in their elections, they stand it with the Armenian side, not the Azerbaijani side. So I would like to ask you if you ever had any issues with the violence and aggression in the United States as an Uyghur activist or Uyghur member, and what was the result? Like, I want to just make a comparison here.
You know, first of all, I saw, I was really shocked. I mean, I think Yultuz posted this video, right? And I was really shocked to see. I can't even believe that's kind of real life kind of video, right? Because it's like a movie, you know. I know people insulting, you know, roaring the car and driving in the crowd, you know. I know there's a fighting and all those things. It's like, whoa, I was like, what's going on, right? And I start to, you know, look more in the history and all those things, right? I was really shocked. But and also I'm not very surprised that that, you know, any nation or any country they adopting this the communist kind of regime, I think have a similar kind of mentality and similar behaviors that, you know, they just tend to be aggressive. I mean, I know, because I personally, I mean, here we haven't seen in California, but I know that in other area, DC area, when Uyghur you know, activists are protesting, I know Chinese, you know, for you know, Chinese, and they're hiring, you know, they're paying all those students and all those people to protest in front of us, and also kind of clashing, you know, and also I also see that other day, you know, on the video that, you know, when one I believe that's a German citizen, you know, German citizen just protesting, you know, about this kind of virus and all those things. I know a bunch of Chinese guy went to beat him up and tear the banner and all those things, you know. But yeah, but this thing is, I mean, it's a very common back at home, because, you know, I'm not sure familiar with this, in the beginning of this like a big riot happened in 2019, you know, 300 Chinese mob killed you know, killed a 20 unarmed Uyghur factory worker, toy factory worker in Guangzhou. That's whole, you know, the things get escalated, you know, because some kind of rumor, you know, this 300 Chinese mob, you know, came to the dormitory of this Chinese Uyghur, you know, Uyghur factory worker who's kind of forced to migrated from that, you know, migrated from our land to you know, forced to work in this factory in, you know, in Guangzhou, just like it's happening right now, like forced labor camp, right? So there's a lot of people migrate from our area to this Guangzhou, and 300 mobs came and they killed it, and again, this and our student and the local citizens in Urumqi, they did a peaceful protest, you know, carrying, you know, because of course we cannot carry our own flag, right? But carrying Chinese flag, asking for justice, you know, and the police was there, but it just didn't do anything in Guangzhou when they saw the people just, you know, beating the Uyghurs to death, you know, with a stick, you know, and with all the knife and all those on the street. The police was watching, just didn't do anything, and students had a peaceful protest in July 5th, and you know, in Urumqi, you know, and they're just asking for justice. You know, there's no violence, anything like that. But instead, Chinese authority, you know, first, you know, did the curfew and turn off all the lights and on the street lights, and, you know, and shot them. Second day, and they give you know, you know, government sponsored, you know, organization hand out the stakes and a knife and all those things to beat whatever Uyghurs on the street. You know, we lost so many like artists, famous guys during that time also. So we have this kind of many cases, but I mean honestly speaking, I feel shamed for those people doing the violence in US. I mean, you can I mean, it's bad enough you do in your own your own country, but do it in this kind of place, because where we can speak freely, our right being kind of protected by government, all those things, right? But still you doing this kind of barbarian style behavior here. It's kind of shame. It's really shame all those people. Yeah, I'm really felt sad for that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you about the comparison, and I heard that you told me about this event which happened. More than 300 Chinese attacked a small group of
Uyghurs. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and there were clashes. That's a similar story, I think. And I don't know why it's happening in the history of the United States that they fighting two, let's say, a group of people, and sometimes they're showing not enough reactions, and it means that they do it, but slowly, and they don't want to intervene at all and be a peaceful peacemaker guys, and they sometimes I'm just observing the situation after the Los Angeles actions, and I see that every day Armenian side provocating the process and trying to open new cases, like let's say what has happened a couple of weeks later of that actions in San Francisco. They have a school, Armenian school, and in the morning I wake up and I see the news that someone just write on the walls, like graffiti writing, hate speech, like they say that hate speech against Armenians. As an Azerbaijani and member of this community here, I saw that it's fake, total fake, because they even couldn't write the name of Azerbaijan correctly. In some words correctly. What has happened then? All San Francisco, like political leadership and other human rights campaigners and blah, blah, blah, they started standing with the Armenian, oh, we are so sorry what happening with you guys, but nobody asked why. And is it possible that Azerbaijani people can do it? Do you know someone Azerbaijani living in the United States doing aggression or violence against, even not to Armenians, even to other groups, other people? No. But all media started to talk about this, and after all of our reactions and pushing them and sending them emails, calling them, whole Azerbaijani people living in the United States, after them, the Fox News started apologize. Oh, sorry guys, we didn't know that, blah, blah, blah. So, but it's not enough. And who is behind of this? We want to know, and not enough investigation, not enough, reaction, and they don't want to let us talk, to let us know, to talk about this. They don't want to give us air, space, and unfortunately, all this happening in the United States today, currently. And as I know that you have a little information about our conflict, a little bit, I think you researched. What's your opinion? Who is here guilty? Who is here right in this conflict? What do you think, like an observer, like a foreigner, like foreign observer? What do you think about it?
Yeah, you're right. It is, I started a little bit about the all the conflict, Nagorno, conflict, right? And so this is a very interesting, because my background is engineering, right? So I know a little bit less about, on the history, but I'm still kind of educating myself more and more, right? But one thing, based on this based on, my experience and all those things, what I see is the superpower country, if you're superpower kind of country, they always using this kind of divine and conquer technique, I know this. So USSR, the place, create this area in between, right? Give to Armenian people, right? So just making sure always, there's a little trouble, it's a little problem, they don't make you all happy, when Azerbaijan became independent, right? They intentionally gonna create this area, just to give you guys enough trouble so that they can control the area, so yeah, I mean, of course, this is kind of I can share my opinion different way, which is so in China, when in Chinese, when you enter our land, just even 50 years back, we have a very few percent kind of Chinese people, right? But now their numbers are 54%, right? I mean, let's just like Armenian was kind of a very minority in that area, right? Now, with the help of Armenia, I think they're gonna keep expanding, and later claim that I'm the owner of the place. I think the strategies are very similar. Now even asking Chinese people about that area, is that, oh, this is our area because we have more people. So initially they forgot the history, or they just try to do the kind of try to hide the truth to shamefully, kind of expanding and twisting the facts, right? So, like earlier you mentioned, why this, communists followed, this kind of nation? Why is it being violence, right? I think one of the reasons because they know the truth, and they know they're not right, right? Only way to, because they cannot, when you ask him to just talk peacefully, just talk about truth, because they cannot tell the truth, as instead they're just using the violence to cover up their whatever the lie is, so yeah.
So yeah, that's a map. I would like to give you a whole idea about the map and neighborhood.
Yes.
And I know that you are an engineer, but as a civic as a citizen of United States right now, and
yeah,
you have an idea about this conflict.
yes,
This is the map of Azerbaijan, and that's the South Caucasus. Here's
yes.
Azerbaijan and Armenia and Georgia, Russia, Iran, Turkey, and the east side is the Caspian Sea. Look at the map, please. Actually, I want to just stressing here that the whole area of Armenia, it was belong historically to Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
There was no Armenia, never. It happened when the Armenians brought to these areas by the Tsar Russia in 19th century from the Syria and I don't know, in Turkey, from Iran, and they brought in this land with small tribes, like small group of people, and they expanded here day by day, time by time. Our territories given by the Tsar Russia first to them, and then Soviet communist regime established in these areas. By that time, Azerbaijan territory was 114,000 square kilometers.
Yes.
I'm going to just when the Soviet Russia established, and they invaded whole Azerbaijan, invaded the area. First Soviet regime happened in Azerbaijan, and then they wanted to establish Armenia. Yes, but by that time it wasn't enough territory and enough population to make them as a republic. You see, that's a politics. And what they did, they took a part of these areas. You see this Armenian side, almost most of this part, they brought from us and give them give to
Yes.
Armenia,
Yeah.
to make a republic as an Armenian republic, Soviet Socialist Republic. And at the end, thousands, maybe millions of Azerbaijani people were under Armenian ruling. I was born in Armenia, so-called Armenia. That's the western part of Azerbaijan. I call it like this. I was born there.
This area is Nagorno-Karabakh area?
No, now I'm telling still about Armenian territory.
Oh, okay, I see.
Armenian territory.
I see.
I was born there. If these territories belong to Armenians for a long period, for thousands of years, as their prime minister talked to Hard Talk a couple of days ago, he said that thousands of years ago, Armenians lived in Karabakh. Thousands of years ago, no one from Armenians lived in this whole area.
Yeah.
Never. They came to these areas maybe more than 100 years, 150 years by the Russians. If I'm not Armenian and I was born there in that land, how it's possible that these lands belong to them? Historically, my grandpas, granddads, and they lived over that territories. We have graves there, we have cemeteries there, we have lands there, houses. You know, in 1988, when they started this conflict, our people enforced to leave their lands, to leave their houses.
Yeah.
They came by the guns and they said, you have immediately, within 2 hours, leave your village, and leave all your stuff here, leave all your agricultural stuff, like cows, everything, houses. These are all belongs to us because they came with guns, not by peace. And then started the Karabakh problem. And why I'm giving this information, and I want to just you have an idea and opinion about this whole process a little bit. Sorry about it being a little bit longer. And
no, it's good actually. I want to learn also. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the and this part coming to this Karabakh region. When this conflict started in 1988, Armenia declared and adopted a resolution in their Supreme Soviet, let's say, parliament. I don't know. So let's say, and they adopted the resolution about the Nagorno-Karabakh, and they declared that Armenia, Nagorno-Karabakh belongs to Armenia. So it happened, and intention started. Millions, more than 500,000 maybe people became refugees from the Armenian side. Azerbaijani moved to Azerbaijan, and then war started in 1991 after collapsing of the Soviet Union. Yeah. The war intense and started big war, but it was unfair war because the Soviet troops still in Armenia. They relocated there and they're supporting Armenian troops by means of everything: manpower, weapons, rockets, tanks, everything. All is happening now against Azerbaijan, happening by big support of Russia.
And even today, right? Even today, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
It's continuing. Yeah, it's continuing. Sometimes from our southern neighbors, Iran, but no matter they're Muslim, what is happening now? Iran is supporting Armenia economically. Iran giving them energy supplies, oil, gas. Can you believe it? Yeah. That's the different story, because we have more than 30 million Azerbaijanis living under the Iranian regime. That's why they have a fear that one time this country will be reunited. I understand it, but no matter that, it's not a Muslim Brotherhood. It's not nothing. That's the political issues. They like Russia. They always support the Armenia. Armenia invaded this area. You see, Nagorno-Karabakh in the middle of the country, almost in the middle. You see here in the white. Yeah. Yes. But that's with the yellow, orange. Highlighted areas. That areas are surrounding areas. 7 regions. We say rayons, which are which were occupied during that war. Together, 12 regions. We lost 5 Karabakh, 7 surrounding regions. Totally 20% of our territories already occupied. More than 1 million people became internally displaced persons. They are not refugees. They didn't come from other lands. They became a refugee, or they left their homelands. It means that IDPs, internally displaced persons. So Azerbaijan had a big problem with refugees and IDPs. More than 1 million people came to country. Country is really it was in a bad situation economically and politically. Still by that time, in 1994, there was ceasefire, but this ceasefire is making no nonsense. It's a nonsense for us because it's a frozen conflict. It's not solved at all.
Yeah,
that's a problem for now. Even though in July 12, Armenian military started to shelling and bombing our region on the north up. You see in the north part of this Karabakh, the boundary with Armenia. Here is the regions Tavuz and Gedebey and Kazakh. They started bombing from Tavuz region and killing our military men and some civilians. And nobody cares about this conflict now. We want to now really react to international community that why you are closing your eyes and you are taking double standards. It's obvious, and United Nations has 4 resolutions about this problem.
Yes,
about this conflict. You saw that. That resolutions demands immediately leaving Azerbaijani areas of Armenian troops. They have to remove their military and give back our territories. It was in 1990s early. Now in 2020, almost 30 years, no action, nothing, and still invasion and occupation is on the way. What has happened in LA? That's a continuing process of this, and it didn't stop, and we will never stop actually, Kaderjan.
Yes.
We
I know that stop.
We should not stop. You are, as a member of Uyghur community, I know a little bit. We learned as much as we can about how our Uyghur brothers suffered under the Chinese regime, and we know that's almost similar stories because we were under Soviet too.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, so Uyghur, I mean, I did a comparison, right? So I compared military comparison between Armenia and Azerbaijan, right? I mean, Azerbaijan, I mean, if it's a one-on-one standalone, you're much stronger, you know, you have more power. But I know there's a lot of big countries behind, you know, in Armenia, right?
Yeah.
So I know when you talk about a few things, right? I think I can, it resembles our situation very much because, first of all, you're talking about Iran is supporting Armenia, right? I'm looking at how many people supporting us, right? I mean, we have in Chinese number, right? Chinese official number say we have 11 million Uyghurs, right? But we believe China tried to make our numbers smaller so they know that we're just a small number of people. It's not big deal, right? That's how they want to portray it to the to outside. But we believe we are like around 20 million at home, and globally around 30 million, right? And it's a lot of Muslim, compare, it's maybe more than many population of many countries, right? But see the silence of a lot of Muslim country, right? Not doing much, just keeping the eye closed. A lot of Saudi countries, and even if Mohammed bin Salman even praising that China is doing the right thing of China having the concentration camp, locking millions of Uyghurs, being brainwashed, forced to eat pork, and and the women are sterilized, and all those things. They're praising for this, and I mean, there's many countries, so so yeah, when it comes to the kind of money, just everyone is just they can just silence. You can just lose their moral standard and they just keep silence. That is that's a very similar thing. And also, it's the way the Armenians are doing is very similar to what Chinese is doing. Also, they start small and keep expanding. See what they're doing to they occupied us. Now what they're doing to India, right? Kind of, they try to every day try to move the border, extending their border day by day, having clashes. Last time we saw, there's a lot of people died, 50 people died in the China-Indian clashes at the border, right?
Yes.
So yeah, it is, the tactic is a very, very similar, very similar. And so and honestly speaking, yes, we cannot stop it. We cannot. One of the things we can't stop. I mean, you compared to Azerbaijan as a nation is way stronger than situation is much better than us. You have your own military. You have your kind of country, all those things. We have nothing. Even knife. I can't even have a knife. You saw the picture, right? Knife of the a restaurant or a shop owner. The one end of the knife was kind of strapped on the at the table, so you can't move the knife. So we don't even have a knife right now. We can't use a knife freely, and knife has a QR code. We can buy a knife freely, right? But even though I'm very appreciative that is that, and our people not stopping, and we should not stop. We do our part. When God's time meet our time, and I think the things that can happen, inshallah. Because you saw, we had a recent resolution passed, Uyghur Human Right Act passed in the House, with a majority. Actually, one or two people didn't vote, go against it, but when the majority and when the House and the Congress, and the bill became effective, and we've been fighting very hard. It's like a many years. We lose. Honestly, compared to you, we should lose hope because we have nothing, right? We only have a mouth to talk about it, right? But we keep doing it. I think we should not stop, and we just keep doing it. And inshallah, at some time, the time will come that truth is truth. Nobody can change. Whatever is whatever the truth about Azerbaijan, all those things, it will eventually be revealed. Even though even the people, the country tried to kind of publishing kind of fake news and try to twist the history, all those. In China, of course, you saw that because I was not able to learn my own history back at home because the history is modified, in the favor of Chinese government, right? So, but that doesn't stop us. That won't hide the truth, right? So the truth will eventually come out, and that's why I think American people right now kind of waking up, know the true face of Chinese, right? And now taking some action, So, but I think it's gonna happen for people from Azerbaijan and in many other countries also, Yeah. You lost audio. No, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
okay,
just muted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kaderjan, I understand that, of course, there's overall similarity we have in our situation, but the difference is that you are wholly under occupation of China, but
yes.
we have been under Soviet occupation. We have been like over 70 years, and of course they couldn't take out our dignity, our identity, our language, our culture. We also, as a nation, push them always back, and we as a whole nation try to defend our, as I said, identity and culture, and we talk in our language. We had schools in our language. Of course, it wasn't a mandatory to study in Russian, but it was Yeah, it's been a good for some people who wanted to live in Moscow or live in Russia or others Russian-speaking countries to learn or study in Russian. But it's good that we now some generation, like not young generation, the generation before 90s, they somehow they speak and understand Russian very well. Like I'm doing, I speak Russian very well and understand their language. I always watch their TV news. Still in Russia, the same like Soviet Union. They're acting like empire. They're intervening to other territories. What's happening in Belarus now? I don't know if you are aware about it or not.
I saw the protest,
Yeah, the protest against Lukashenko, which is ruling over 26 years in this country, almost after collapsing Soviet Union, he stayed in the power. There is no democracy in the country, no parties, no civic society, nothing. Destroyed everything. The same like the Soviet Union kolkhoz regime. You know, kolkhoz, sovkhoz, that's a communist units during the Soviet period. They saved this, not they saved, the government saved this life, like, but people doesn't want to live under the same ruling like the communists ruled over 70 years. They have no freedom of speech, no freedom of assembly, blah, blah, so nothing. Russia again, Russia behind that Lukashenko. Russia intervened Ukraine, Russia intervened Moldova, Russia intervened Georgia, supporting Armenia, occupying our lands. The all surrounding countries, republics, like former republics, except the Baltic areas like Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, because they have a big support from their Western allies. They have always big support. All these others are fully influenced by Russia, even Azerbaijan. They use their military, their power, just pressure us not to go and open your eyes to the whole world, to the reality. That's how China is doing against you. They don't want you to, they don't let you to democratize and to have a self-autonomous ruling system, even though, but you have a right to be an independent country. Even I'm just not talking about it.
Yes.
Yeah, that all violence, all aggression by the big powers against the small nations like ours, like yours, but comparing with the other smallest groups, we are not so small. We have over 50 million Azerbaijanis living in the whole world.
Yes.
But Azerbaijan Republic has 10 million population. As I said, about 30 million people lives under Iranian regime, and rest in the whole world. What I want, why I wanted to invite you here as our community friend, and we highly respect your community too here, and we have a good relations with you. And I wanted you to know and give you a whole idea about this conflict. And when you will watch the news and you will have some talk from the Armenian side, you will have an idea at least who is the right and who is the fake. We are defending. Yeah, we are defending our country. We are defending our lands, territories. We want to fight back our Garaba, and we will sooner or later we will do it by peace or by war. It will happen soon.
Yeah, I think we do peace, because when you do by force, you lose the support of other people. You know, do with the peace, you gain. You know, sometimes you feel like you're losing, but you gain the support of other, because everyone loves peace. You know. And when you have a right, when you know the truth, I think we should talk about in a peaceful manner. And when you have agreement, right? I know you told me there was a lot of resolution, but the resolution being done carried out right immediately after the signing it, right? Nobody's actually following that the resolution, which is sad, but
sure,
yeah, but I think we should be a little bit patient, and patient, and I'm sure Azerbaijan people will definitely, win the race in the long run. I'm pretty sure on this one. So honestly speaking, we are very active in this United States, but so far I didn't hear any any people that Uyghur people actually, our anger towards this communist party and all those communist regime is, really, we hit them to the bone, imagine, right, we were living peacefully here, everything, and knowing that, a lot of our brothers, sisters, really suffering back at home, right? You can't even, sit down with, with a peace, you so much you want to do something, but you cannot do something, right? And our hate to the communist regime is really, really, very, very, very strong. But I didn't hear any case that Uyghur actually can actively, initiated any fight to the Chinese people and all those, nothing, you know. And this is one of the comments from I heard like a few years ago, that Taiwanese scholar, he described this comparing Uyghur people and the Chinese people, that Chinese people had this, in that around 2011, 2012, is these had a lot of children being killed in the kindergarten. This incident happened in southern part of China. The few cities has a problem, and it's a similar time that when we had a riot, the July 5th riot, and the 300 mob killed, 300 mob killed and 20 innocent Uyghur, right? So at that time, the Taiwanese scholar did comparison, right? So then when they investigating the incident happens, in the kindergarten, like, why is so many kids being, kidnapped and killed? And when they arrive and investigate them, and find out that, we ask them, why you kill these children? Do you know the children? No, right? And they're asking, why you kill these children? They said, because government took my land. I said, hey, government took your land. What is it to do with his children? He said, I can't do anything to the government. That's why I want to do something bad to the kids. And he said, what Uyghur people did is right, because when we have problem with government, deal with government. Talk to, even though it's not effective. The protesting with a small group of people protesting, it didn't reach the purpose. But we're doing what is the right thing. We just raise the voice, raise even Chinese flag, say, we want to demand justice, right? And we didn't say, because Chinese government occupy our land, I need to just hit some Chinese children in US, right? This is not like how to say not right way to do it, not like I know lack of better word. So I don't know. This is, definitely stop, focus on the problem and peacefully settle down, come to agreement. And when we come to agreement, we follow through, not just you talk and just don't whatever agreement comes out, you just abandon them immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, we are very peaceful people in the Southern Caucasus, and we never had any any occupation by our Azerbaijani side, or any hurt or insane actions against any nations, even the Armenians. And we never killed innocent Armenians, except of course during the war. Of course the soldiers died during the war. That's an obvious normal thing. But intentionally, we never did it, and we never had make any massacre, atrocities against Armenians. But they did against them. No matter they did, we are trying to solve this conflict by peaceful ways. We are looking and we are just always trying to call the other nations, the big nations like US, Russia, France, UK, always support to build the peaceful ways of resolution of this conflict. We don't want war, of course.
Yes.
I'm not meaning that we will do it by war, but it's our right to get back our lands by all means. We will try till the end, of course, to solve this conflict and take our lands, 12 regions, back from Armenian troops and Russian troops by peaceful way. No doubt for it, of course. But Armenian side always demonstrating aggression, demonstrating unwillingness to solve this process, to solve this issue. Nagorno, they say insistently that Nagorno-Karabakh, the prime minister came that he declared to the world that I'm elected by the democratic way. People voted for me. But what is happening now? He is continuing his predecessors, like before presidents they did. The same, nothing changed. Even he's doing worse than that, the previous one.
Yeah, that's why I think Armenia should stop, this kind of...
they're provocating, Kaderjan, they're provocating always. He's visiting Karabakh very frequently. Most recently, they electing so-called Karabakh Artsakh Republic's president, and he came to the inauguration. If you are on the peaceful, do you want to solve this issue on a peaceful way? Why are you provocating us? Why are you coming to there? Why you're just accepting or telling the people that this conflict has 3 sides? No, Karabakh is not the side. Karabakh is the territory belongs to Azerbaijan and recently under occupation by the Armenia. Here is the 2 parties, Armenia and Azerbaijan, and they want the world accept this like 3 parties. You know what I mean? It means that the whole world should recognize as a Karabakh as a party. And it means that the world will recognize them like country, but nobody will do it. They know it. Even Armenia, by this time, they didn't recognize Karabakh as a country because they cannot do it. They know that if they will do it, the whole world will tell them you are real aggressor and occupant. That's it. Thank you, Kaderjan, and for fruitful discussion. And
I learned a lot actually, because
thank you so much.
I learned so much from you also this time also. Thanks.
And we learn about your Uyghur problem too, and some people in our community, they have a lack of information, they lack of awareness about Uyghur brothers. They don't know because there is no sufficient information resources. Only few people living in the United States or in, I don't know, maybe in the Europe, I'm not sure. Like you, I met you here too. Before we only heard about from little from the news, but not too much because China never let them news information spreading out to the world. Only I saw some Turkey, sometimes from the Turkish politics, standing with Uyghurs. They always protect them. I know thanks to them, maybe thousands of Uyghurs living in Turkey, they are under Turkish support, care, thanks to Turkey, really. And we always, as Azerbaijani, and we will always, of course, but defend you too.
Yeah, especially right now, right now we should, thanks for your, again, I want to thank you doing this kind of a work, because to let other people know, educating us, because for us as a outsider, right, when we, even we experience the same problem, if you look at the online, right, about even problems with Uyghur problems or Azerbaijan problem and other problems, right, there's so many fake things or, kind of flooded all over the place. It just, people lose, what's happening, right? I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Even one time I tried to, because Uyghur, they still say it's part of Xinjiang, whatever is the term that Chinese labeled us, right? And I think one of us tried to change it. Within a few minutes, it changed back to Xinjiang again. So what it means, there's the Chinese, many this kind of country, right? They're spending so much on misinforming the public, the twisting the fact, right? So that's why I think learning, learning from you, about the situation is very meaningful for us, you know. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you again for your time and being with us. And I highly appreciate your time, energy, like here. And I wish you best of good luck, success in your future activities and fighting back your rights in the world.
Yeah,
Thank you again.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think, you know, we have to just, you know, we can't go too far. One nation, one people cannot go too far, right? So we have to work together, you know. Let the words heard, you know, look for justice, you know, do the thing peacefully. I think Azerbaijan people should continue to do just right things, you know. Eventually, you know, our words will be loud enough to get heard, you know, by public, and you know, we will achieve what we wanted, you know. So thanks, give us the opportunity to talk about it, and also share a little bit about you know, Uyghur situation, you know. Just last one, I just share also, whenever you get chance, also talk about please talk about Uyghur problems. You know, I know you being very vocal about our situation, you know, wherever when we meet, and whenever you provide us platform last year, right? I think that was really good, you know. That was get chance to know, you know, great people like you know. So yeah, please continue to talk about it. You know, also we know what the Azerbaijan problems, you know. So we should fight evil together, you know. Yeah.
Thank you. You are very welcome, and thank you. I would like to take a chance, say thanks, big thanks to our viewers who watching our video and who will watch our video. And please share and like our video, because we want to deliver our speech, our talk to every household in the United States to know realities about our communities. Thank you again. Stay safe and bye.
Okay, stay safe. Thank you.